Is Mr. Byron Druss, is he attending?
Yeah, he's the one we're waiting for. He should be on shortly.
All right, we are live.
Okay. I'm going to call to order the Evesham Township Municipal Utilities Authority meeting for December 2nd, 2020. Please read the opening statement.
Okay, Jeff Rollins, Executive Director. Adequate public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given by the Director of Finance, Deputy Executive Director of the Evesham Municipal Utilities Authority on November 30th, 2020 in the following manner. Emailing written notice to the Burlington County Times, Courier Post, and Central Record. Posting written notice on the official Evesham EMUA website. Filing written notice with the clerks of Evesham and Medford. This statement shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, resolution 2020-133, approving adjustment to water sewer rate schedule. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Chairman, I think we need to have the hearing first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, we're going to commence the hearing for the water sewer rate hearing. Before we begin, I do want to apologize to the public. It was our intent to have this meeting in public at the municipal building, but due to COVID-19 and health concerns of the public, the commissioners, and our staff, we decided to move it to a virtual meeting. So again, ideally, I would have liked to have had this in person in an actual public meeting. So I do want to apologize to members of the public. Mr. Gillespie, do you want to start?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, members of the public, John Gillespie for the record, General Counsel. This is a public hearing that is being conducted on a proposed adjustment to the rate schedule of the Evesham Municipal Utilities Authority. Notice of this rate hearing has been given in accordance with law. Notice has been published in the Burlington County Times and the Courier Post on November 3, 2020, the Central Record on November 5, 2020, served upon the municipal clerks of the townships of Evesham and Medford, posted on the authority's website and at the authority's business office on October 30, 2020, and all of which are more than 20 days prior to the hearing. This hearing will be conducted in the following manner. The authority will present its witness to testify concerning the proposed adjustment to the rate schedule. After the witness testifies, any member of the public in attendance will have an opportunity to ask questions. After the witness for the authority testifies, anyone wishing to make a statement concerning the proposed adjustment to the rate schedule may make a statement. After everyone has had a chance to make his or her statement, the public hearing will be closed and the authority will consider the proposed adjustment to the rate schedule in Resolution 2020-133. Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, I would like to call Laura Puz to testify on behalf of the proposed rate schedule. Actually, you know what, Laura, I think we probably should swear you in. So if you would raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right. Would you please state your full name and position with the Evesham MUA?
I'm the Director of Finance, Deputy Executive Director.
And how long have you served in that position?
Since 2006.
All right. And are you familiar with the budget, the revenues, expenses, and schedule of rates and overall finances of the authority?
Yes, I am. I continually review both revenues and expenses in order that the authority stays within its. budget and is able to meet its covenants and obligation under its bond resolution.
Can you describe the authority's approach in regard to its rate structure?
Yes, the authority's long-term approach is to perform a rate study on an annual basis, which involves creating a customer profile by water usage and by rate class, utilizing the prior calendar year of billings. We also include anticipated revenues from antenna rents and connection fees in this analysis. However, our major source of revenue is derived from user fees. This rate profile is then placed within the authority's financial model. The financial model provides an outlook for a 10-year period for anticipated revenues, operating expenses, debt service obligations, and coverage, which calculates the required water and sewer service charges for each fiscal year. This is instrumental in forecasting net income and any deficits, allowing for planned capital improvements to our infrastructure, with gradual and predictable adjustments to our rates as needed to support all operations. This approach of an annual analysis of the rate structure, in conjunction with the 10-year forecast, has translated into regular and gradual rate adjustments as needed, which has allowed us to improve our infrastructure and facilities while remaining fiscally sound. This leads to better customer service rather than frequent service disruptions resulting from poorly maintained infrastructure.
Did you perform an analysis of the authority's rate schedule in order to determine whether the current schedule charges were adequate to cover the authority's annual operating expenses, capital improvement program, and debt service requirements, both current and proposed?
Yes, I did.
And what did your analysis disclose?
The analysis disclosed that water revenues were insufficient to support the 2019 revenue bond debt service annual payments and other planned capital improvements, while sewer revenues were generating excess operating income as a result of final repayment of the 2012 refunding debt service. This analysis indicated there was a need for an adjustment between water and sewer service-based charges, reducing sewer revenues and increasing water revenues.
Well, how did you determine that there was a need for an adjustment between the water and sewer service charges?
Well, we look at water and sewer utilities separately. We first determined the projected expenses for each utility, both current and long-term. These expenses are based on the annual budget, which is approved by the authority, and then reviewed and approved by the State of New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. These budgets must be balanced, which means that revenues must be sufficient to support operating expenses and debt service. The authority is obligated by its bond resolution to derive annual revenues that are sufficient to pay its annual operation and maintenance expenses, as well as 105% of its debt service requirements, while generating sufficient net operating income for some planned capital expenses. The operating expenses are forecast long-term for a period of 10 years, while debt service, both current and anticipated, are included in this forecast. A rate profile is established each year for residential and commercial water and sewer customers to determine how the current rate structure is performing. This rate profile is then placed within the authority's financial model to forecast the performance of rates for a 10-year period. With respect to the water utility, the financial model indicates that the current water rates adequately support our operating budget for the current and subsequent 2 fiscal years. However, they are deficient in supporting the annual debt service payments resulting from the financing of the 2019 revenue bonds for water capital improvements. They are also deficient in generating net operating income for future planned water capital improvements. With respect to the sewer utility, the financial model indicates that the current sewer rates easily support our operating budget, debt service, and planned capital improvements for the current and subsequent several fiscal years. However, they are generating excess net operating income resulting from the drop in annual debt service payments this fiscal year. This reduction in annual debt service payments is a result of final maturity for the 2012 refunding bonds at the beginning of this fiscal year. The 2012 refunding issue financed several past sewer capital improvement projects. The financial model indicated that a rate realignment rather than a rate increase was necessary to rebalance the rate structure so that the water revenues adequately support water operations, including capital improvements and debt service, while reducing sewer operating income to only what is needed for planned sewer capital improvements.
So the EMUA maintains something called a Schedule 2W, potable water service charges. Could you explain the proposed adjustment to Schedule 2W?
Yes. So we are proposing adjustments to the base charges for residential, non-residential, and irrigation users in order to meet the revenue requirements for the water utility. I'll discuss residential customers first. We are proposing an increase to the base charge from $12 to $32 per quarter. For those residential users outside the municipal boundaries of Evesham Township who are not grandfathered to remain at the inside Evesham Township boundary rates, we are proposing an increase to the base charge from $15 to $40 per quarter. For non-residential customers, we are proposing an increase to the base charge from $19 to $39 per quarter. For those non-residential customers outside the municipal boundaries of Evesham Township who are not grandfathered to remain at the inside Evesham Township boundary rates, we are proposing an increase to the base charge from $24 to $49 per quarter. For irrigation customers, we are proposing an increase to the base charge from $19 to $39 per quarter. For those irrigation customers outside the municipal boundaries of Evesham Township who are not grandfathered to remain at the inside Evesham Township boundary rates, we are proposing an increase to the base charge from $25 to $49 per quarter. There will be no adjustment to any of the water consumption charges for any of our customers.
The EMUA also maintains something called a Schedule 2S, sanitary sewer service charges. Would you please explain the proposed adjustment to Schedule 2S?
We are proposing adjustments to the sewer base charges for both residential and non-residential customers. So once again, I'll discuss residential customers first. For residential customers, we are proposing a decrease in the base charge from $78 to $58 per quarter. For those residential sewer users outside the municipal boundaries of Evesham Township who are not grandfathered to remain at the inside Evesham Township boundary rates, we are proposing a decrease to the base charge from $99 to $73 per quarter. For non-residential sewer users, we are proposing a decrease to the sewer base charge from $93 to $73 per quarter. For those non-residential sewer users outside the municipal boundaries of Evesham Township who are not grandfathered to remain at the inside Evesham Township boundary rates, we are proposing a decrease to the sewer base charge from $138 to $91 per quarter. There will be no adjustment to any of the sewer consumption charges for any of our customers.
What would be the effect of the proposed realignment of base charges if they're adopted by the authority?
While assuming that customers do not decrease their usage, we project that we would derive approximately $7,861,062 in total water service charges per fiscal year, and that these revenues will adequately support all of the authority's obligations, including debt service, while generating some net operating income for future planned capital improvements for the next few fiscal years. Assuming usage patterns do not change, the proposed sewer service base charge adjustments, if adopted, would result in estimated sewer service revenues of $10,472,503 per fiscal year. While this would be a decrease in annual sewer revenues, the remaining sewer revenues would meet all obligatory expenses, including debt service, while generating some net operating income for future planned capital improvements.
Ms. Puzz, do you have an opinion as to whether the proposed realignment of base service charges is reasonable and necessary?
Yes, in my opinion, the proposed realignment of rates is more than reasonable and absolutely necessary in order to produce water revenues that are adequate to meet our debt service obligation, plus the required 5% debt service coverage, provide a reserve for emergencies, pay for the capital improvement program and routine capital expenditures or other lawful expenses of the authority. In addition, it is only reasonable and in the best interest of our ratepayers to reduce the sewer revenues while continuing to support all sewer operations, including capital and debt service, which will generate an appropriate rather than excessive net operating income. This rate adjustment from sewer to water will support our water debt service, generate operating income to fund future water capital projects, and will bring the water rates and the sewer rates into a balanced rate structure while still maintaining fair and affordable rates. 98% of our customers will see a net zero increase. We do have a small community of water-only customers who will experience an increase of $20 per quarter or a little over $6 per month in their water bill. And that's only because they do not pay a sewer bill. So there is no sewer base charge decrease to offset the increase to the water base charge. We have confirmed the affordability and fairness of the proposed rate structure, including for our water-only customers, through the use of defined benchmarks from the EPA and from the Texas A&M Associate Professor Manuel Teodoro's 2018 study, as well as a rate comparison to 26 neighboring water sewer utilities, in which we rank number 22, with number 1 having the highest rates and number 27 having the cheapest rates. The authority is committed to providing safe, cost-effective, and environmentally responsible water and sewer service to our customers. In order to do just that, the rate structure must be continuously monitored and adjusted as needed. This progressive approach to rates, sewer, and capital improvements allows the authority to remain fiscally sound while providing a high quality of customer service.
Have you also consulted with the EMUA auditor about this recommendation?
Yes, I did. The auditor and I conferred several times while formulating a plan to restructure our rates, in addition to meeting several times with the Finance Committee.
And can you report the auditor's findings to both the authority and to the public?
Yes. The auditor advised that the proposed restructuring of rates is necessary due to the authority's increased debt service obligations for water operations and decreased debt service obligations for sewer. The auditor concurred that the proposed rates will adequately support authority operations, including debt service obligations and future capital improvements, with zero to minimal impact on our ratepayers.
Ms. Puzz, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, members of the authority, I have no further questions. The next step would be to see if there are any members of the public who wish to ask the authority any question.
Thank you, Mr. Gillespie. Chris, do we have any members of the public wishing to testify?
We do not.
Okay. Do any of the commissioners have any questions before I close public comment? Before I close comment? Seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. Do I need to do anything else before I read the resolution?
No, if there are no questions from the members of the authority, I think the next step is, Mr. Chairman, as you indicate, to go ahead with the adoption of the resolution.
Okay, resolution 2020-133, approving adjustment to water sewer rate schedule. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. George Tenza,
Okay.
second.
Al Lutner moved the resolution. Do we have any questions before I call a vote? Seeing none, please call the vote.
Mr. Schmidt?
Aye.
Domino?
Aye.
Mr. Lutner?
Aye.
Mr. Tenza?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye. That concludes the water sewer hearing.
Mr. Chairman, at this point,
Yes.
if I may interrupt, I think I think the authority can excuse the court reporter and thank her for her services and attendance.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your services.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Can I have a motion to adopt the meeting minutes from the November 4th, 2020 ESHAM MUA meeting?
So moved. Nancy Jones. Oh, I don't have to say my name now, do I?
We're good.
Oh, forgot. I do know who I am.
It's better to overdo it than underdo it, Nancy. Anyone, I didn't hear if anyone seconded.
I'll second it.
Al, okay. Does anyone have any questions, comments, additions, or deletions for the minutes?
No.
Okay, seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Public comment for agenda items only. Chris, do we have anyone wishing to comment?
we do not.
Okay, then I'm going to close public comment. Financials, Resolution 2020-151, payment of bills. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Second, okay. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, Mr. Kenneth says.
Yeah, Lou, you first.
Okay, I think it was page 8 and page 9 that there was a purchase of some PPE, the Gator style masks. And I was just concerned because the data that I've read, including a Duke University study, rates the Gator style mask as one of the least effective masks to use. As opposed to a cotton mask, pleated style, a 2-layer polypropylene mask. And I was just wondering why we're going with a least effective face covering for our staff, our line workers.
Okay, Mr. Rollins, Mr. Booth, who would
I
like
can
to
take
address
that.
that? Okay.
Currently, Lou, we're purchasing all types of masks, the N95 masks, paper masks. We also have the Gators, and we also have read that study from Duke University, and they've actually contested that study since the original study where they didn't think it was effective. The CDC came out with something just today. If you take that neck gaiter and fold it once over itself, that is acceptable. But I'm not the scientist here. I did read what you read. I've read both sides of it. But this particular neck gaiter you're talking about is more for winter weather wear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Different.
Anyone else? Any other questions? George, did you have a question?
I had two. Page 9, insurance administrators claim runoff for $125,828.40. What was that, Laura? I don't remember anything with that.
So even though we've left the partially self-insured insurance to go to the state health benefits plans, there are still claims coming through that we are still responsible for. And these are for any services prior to March 1st of this year.
Okay.
Fortunately, there was a very large claim that came through, but us unexpected as well. But we are responsible for it because the claims occurred prior to March 1st.
All right, received. And the second one I had was page 18, TD Wealth Management trustee fees as for 2006, 2008, 2010, and 2014 for $12,510.
So those are 4 of our, at the time they were called the New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Trust, which is now the New Jersey iBank. But those are 4 of our EIT loans in the past, which finance some sewer projects. And each year, twice a year actually, as part of that loan structure, we have to pay administrative fees. And they are set fees. over the life of the loan, and they are paid each July and each January. So the fees that you see on this bill list will be paying the January 1st fees.
All right, thank you, Laura. It just didn't look, the name didn't look right. And then you said the IT, I got it. Thank you.
So TD Wealth Management, that's our trustee, and she manages all of our trustee accounts. So we will send the money to the bond service account, and then she will make sure that those fees get paid to the EIT.
All right, thank you very much, Laura. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, anyone else? Seeing no one, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2020-152, refunds, credits, and cancellations. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Moved. Second.
Okay, does anyone have any questions on this agenda item?
No.
Seeing no one, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2020-153, authorizing execution of 2021 intermunicipal sludge management agreement with Burlington County Board of Chosen Freeholders. Don't they become the commissioners? Do we need to change that, or is it okay to go forward with freeholders?
I think the title of the agreement still uses freeholders, doesn't it?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Does anyone have any questions on this agenda item?
No.
Okay, seeing no one, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2020-154, award of contract under extraordinary unspecifiable service to Horizon Healthcare Services Incorporated in the amount of $46,086.48 for 2021 employee dental insurance. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
All right. Laura, do you have this one?
Yes, I
Anything?
do, Mr. Chairman. So our dental broker, Assured Partners, shopped our dental plan to 5 different insurance companies. The other companies could not match our current benefit level. However, our broker was able to negotiate with Horizon Dental, who is our current carrier, a 10% reduction in premiums for the Horizon Dental Option Plan, which is the plan that the majority of our employees participate in. The 10% savings equates to a little over $4,500 for the year under our current employee census. In addition, there will be no increase in the Horizon Dental Choice Plan. Horizon Dental is a solid company with whom the authority has a good relationship. So due to all these factors, it is recommended to award a 1-year contract to Horizon Dental.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Laura?
Laura, do we have an extension on that, or is it just a 1-year period?
This will just be a 1-year period, and then we'll shop it again next year for 2022.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2020-157, resolution authorizing advertisement for competitive contracting for cellular tower lease consultant. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Who has this one?
I do, Mr. Chairman, and actually
Sure.
I have the same explanation for resolution 2020-157, 158, and 159.
Okay,
At the November meeting, if you'll recall, the board authorized the use of competitive contract to solicit bids for the cellular lease, the IT, and the Great Plains support consultants. So those bid packages have been prepared and we are ready to advertise. And the intent is to award at the February meeting.
You're muted.
does anyone have any questions for Laura on that item? Nope, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lettner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. For the next two, since they're similar to this one, can I just combine them and do one? Okay,
Karen, yes, sir.
all right.
That's what Laura just did.
No.
I know she just did explanations. We didn't vote on the other two.
I'm sorry.
But since it's the same explanation, might as well just bundle those together. So resolution 2020-158, resolution authorizing advertisement for competitive contracting for an information technology consultant, and resolution 2020-159, resolution authorizing advertising for competitive contracting for a Microsoft Great Plains software support consultant. Can I have a motion on those two items, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second, okay. Anyone have any questions before we vote? Yes, Byron.
So I have a question of the specifications that go out before people bid on information technology consulting. Who writes, how is the criteria created? And yeah, how is the criteria created?
I think Chris does that, doesn't he?
I will be handling that, Byron. So how I'm going to rate this particular contract, and I don't have it in front of me, but part of it will be if they supply all the statutory documents, their reputation, their references, their partnerships with various types of like Microsoft Gold Partner, those types of memberships. If they belong to that, they'll be graded on, they'll be awarded points for that. And then they have to advise how they will handle our issues, the response time, how they will handle cloud backup, how they will handle the email exchange server, all those types of things, while meeting how we currently operate, the different types of systems that we use and how they will support that. So there will be points awarded for that as well.
Does it, is it just to operate the systems, or is it to define cloud capabilities, security, cybersecurity, things like that?
Yes, somewhat. We also have a separate cybersecurity program that's a little separate from this contract, but they still have to be able to keep us updated, our systems patched, the security updates, all those types of things. They also would be the company that would advise us as we move into other systems.
Yeah. All right. So
it's a large contract.
Any further questions I have would have been about cybersecurity. So is it more appropriate to address those questions another time on the other contract, or is it relevant here?
This contract while there is some security involved, it's mainly the support of the operating systems and the
Okay,
hardware and the backup. So I would say if you want to discuss how we're handling our cybersecurity, that would be outside of this contract, and we could discuss that separately.
okay, thanks. It's just, there's a trending defensive measure from some research I did recently. I think we should consider it. And I don't know how that would work going out to bid for this. So I'll talk to you offline on the other contract.
Okay.
Thanks.
Does anyone else have any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Gamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2020-160, authorizing lease agreement with Evesham Township for office and garage space at 100 Sharp Road. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Laura, do you have anything to add to this?
Yes. So as you know, we currently lease office space for the business office as well as a garage space from the township at 100 Sharp Road. And we entered into this agreement 3 years ago in 2017. And this agreement will expire at the end of December. The new lease is for 3 years, and all of the terms and conditions of the original lease will remain the same. So we recommend continuing the lease at Sharp Road.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Laura?
No.
Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2020-162, award of contract in excess of $6,600 to Willier Electric Motor Repair Company Incorporated in the amount of $9,485 to replace the blower motor at Woodstream Plant. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Jeff?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This resolution for Willier Electric is for the purchase to replace a worn-out blower motor at our Woodstream wastewater treatment facility. This blower generates oxygen, which we need for our microorganisms to survive and live, and it's vital to our treatment process.
Does anyone have any questions for Jeff?
Jeff, just on this, Jeff, have we checked any other blower motors in the other facilities if they might be needed?
We constantly monitor all of our equipment, and this is one of the 3 that we've been replacing throughout the year. So we've had some similar purchases for the previous 2 throughout this year. So this is the 3rd of 3 that we're replacing.
Then it is proactive instead of reactive.
That's correct.
All right, thank you. It looks good.
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Gamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2020-163, award of contract in excess of $44,000 to Rio Supply Incorporated in the amount of $367,275 for cold water meters with integrated meter interface units. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Jeff?
Yes, Mr. Chair. This resolution is for Rio Supply. This is for the purchase of water meters and related parts. These meters are installed in every dwelling that receives potable water from the Evesham EMUA, and they are also integrated with smart technology that allows us the authority to receive data without entering anyone's residency or dwelling.
Are these, Jeff, used for replacing meters that break or new homes or what?
All of the above.
All of the above. Okay.
Inaccurate meters, slow meters, fast meters, billing issues, broken meters, new housing, all of the above.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Jeff? Yes, Al.
Jeff, I just wonder, in addition to the circumstances that you would replace motors for wear and tear or whatever, is there a schedule to replace meters outside of those circumstances?
We do like to change them out, and I could be correct with the date. Mr. Rollins might be able to help me out. Within a 10-year time period, we find that they may run a little bit slower, so we want the most accurate meter we can for billing purposes.
Okay, so you'll be.
We do a meter change out program, correct?
Okay, thanks.
Byron?
Are these meters compatible with any other manufacturer's meters? I'm just wondering about, I forget the reasoning behind, there's some type of exclusivity, or is it open to other manufacturers' meters?
The bid, I guess, could go out to multiple manufacturers, but the software and the equipment that we have is specific to this type of meter, and it's been proven for many, many years with us.
Okay,
So for us to change a meter to a different vendor or company, we would also have to change an awful lot of software to for billing and a lot of other things.
All right, thanks.
I can remember when we went through and installed these new meters in everyone's house many years ago.
So it's the overall software operation with the way each meter works. It's proprietary to that meter.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll. Oh, I'm sorry. Who?
One question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Jeff, is it surprising that only this Rio Supply is the only company that responded?
It's not surprising, only because it is proprietary, and some of these vendors, a lot of the vendors that we deal with for the authority, they have territories. So there might be multiple vendors throughout the country that sell this particular Neptune brand, but only Rio can really distribute to us. So I guess that's why other companies, stay away from it, because one, we don't have the software package that comes with it. And so we wouldn't necessarily be able to support their meter. So they don't even get involved with us. It would cost us a lot more money to completely change to a different brand.
Just in terms of comparison, what did we pay in the past?
That I do not know.
Yeah, I look at that number. It's a pretty significant number, and with only one company giving us a number, I just wonder how competitive that is.
I can tell you this, Mike. Real Supply has held the same price for the past 3 years. And then with this contract, when we went out to bid, overall, it was an average of about an 8% increase over the contract from 3 years ago.
Okay, thank you for that one. Thanks, Jim.
I mean, if you want more information, Mike, I'm sure Laura or Jeff can get you what we've paid in the past. Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt?
Aye.
Ms. Jamino?
Aye.
Mr. Lutner?
Aye.
Mr. Tenza?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye. Executive Director's Report. Jeff Rollins?
We've had no water main breaks since our last meeting, but we have had a significant sewer main repair. We initiated the repairs ourselves, but the excavation exceeded our equipment's ability to continue the work safely. So we had to engage the emergency service contract to complete the repairs. The repairs were completed. It was in the Woodstream section, Westerly Drive area. We've had 2 permit exceedances in wastewater. There was a chlorine pump failure in conjunction with a phone line failure that the alarm would have used to call out, but could not, the alarm was activated, but it could not get a dial tone to call out and alert the on-call supervisor so that somebody could respond more immediately. It wasn't discovered until the next morning, and then a backup chlorine pump was ready in place, and that took the place and restored the chlorine pumping first thing in the morning. Also, there was a pH excursion at King's Grant plant. It occurred over 3 days, and pH excursions aren't typically serious, but this one occurred over 3 days, so that concerns me about how the DEP will evaluate that excursion. Normally on a pH excursion, as long as you are within 40% of the mid-range, the allowable mid-range, which would be 2 pH units, and we were less than 0.4. So it's a very minor excursion, but when it's over more than 1 day, more than one reporting period, it's concerning. Jeff and I met today about talking about automating some aspects of the pH monitoring and acid feed pump controls to alleviate that problem. Our employee appreciation luncheon that we have annually will obviously have to be different this year because of the pandemic. The Gibson House is unavailable, but we will still manage to recognize our employees for their years of service or in perfect attendance and gift cards and so forth as we normally do. It'll just be in a very different manner. We will still provide a luncheon for them, but it'll be in smaller groups throughout the various facilities to accommodate social distancing, hygiene, and safety. On Monday, we had an employee who suffered a head injury and required treatment at Virtua. He was treated and released the same day without restrictions, and he was back to work on Tuesday, the very next day. I was notified this morning by New Jersey American Water that they have detected dioxane at the Delaware River intake for the water plant in Delran. They're going to send out official notice to all the municipalities in the Delaware Western system, which we're a part of. We have an interconnection with them at Brick Road. Now, under the UCMR, that's the Unregulated Contaminant Monitoring Rule Program, number 3, back in 2014, dioxane was part of that testing protocol. It was tested at all of our wells. It was non-detect. It was also tested at 2 of our interconnections, one with Mount Laurel, one with New Jersey American Water. And at that time, they were both non-detect. So I don't know if it's new for them or not, but it's certainly a new concern that they're going to be trying to manage. And we, in response, will begin monitoring our interconnections as soon as possible, probably Friday at the earliest, if not first thing next week. So I'll keep you apprised of that. But these are detections at very low levels. We're talking about parts per trillion. It's really, small amounts, but this so far, dioxane is unregulated, so they don't have all the regulations worked out on what the maximum contaminant level should be. AEA, I attended a meeting with AEA today on behalf of its membership, essential workers. AEA sent a well-received letter to the governor's office just ahead of Thanksgiving, urging that water utility operators be included in the Tier A category for vaccine distribution as they're formulating their plans for vaccine distribution. That we thought it was a good idea that they take into consideration the criticality of water utilities as a foundational to public health. If we can't staff our facilities, they can't be effective. So that's also true for the energy sector. So we included them in our letter to highlight that point. And I think that's...
Jeff, would that be mandatory for the employees to take that?
That was discussed this morning, and as of yet, what the policy concept is that no, you cannot require your employees to take the vaccine, but you can require that anyone coming to your facilities would have to have the vaccine. So I know that kind of equates to requiring employees to take the vaccine, but that's something that it's in concept only. It's not something that we could base a policy on yet. We'll get plenty of guidance from our Burlington County Health Department and New Jersey Department of Health and Human Services about the distribution of vaccine and what the requirements may be for first responders and health workers and essential workers.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes, Al.
Just to go back to the spillage at Kings Grant with the failure of dial tone. Could you just go over Verizon's explanation again, Jeff, please?
It was a phone line failure that prevented the alarm from enunciating itself to the on-call supervisor. The alarm mechanisms inside the plant were fully functional. They worked fine, but there was no way for this. We call them auto dialers. They dial automatically in response to a trigger. And the trigger worked, but the phone line wasn't available for it to call out or complete its call. And we didn't discover that till we arrived the next morning at 6:30 a.m.
And did you talk to Verizon about that? Or is Verizon your server?
Hey, Chris, I think you could weigh in on this. You were on call when that occurred, or Jeff, that the Verizon had to come out and repair the phone line.
Okay. So
I'll take the first part, Chris, and you can take the second part. So as Jeff was saying, Al, and the rest of the commissioners, our systems are they're designed to be flawless, but they have flaws. So what happened was the chlorine system, it went airbound, would not pump liquid no more. It set the alarm off and said, hey, something's wrong here. That alarm then sends a signal to their phone NID, which is the Verizon. And it dials out, it makes phone calls and says, Verizon, make these phone calls for me, alert somebody, whoever we have on call. That Verizon pack that Verizon has in our facilities did not work. There was some sort of power outage or blip the day before, the night before, or that day that burned up the sending unit that Verizon had. Well, all our equipment seemingly think that it did everything correctly, but the call just never went. And part of that problem is Verizon, like every other company, is going to fiber. And this particular part of what we have is still on cable. So the cable is really, really antiquated in our area. So we were able enough to make repairs to the backup system that as soon as we found that out, only to find out before day's end that the backup system had failed also. So Chris, he can take over after this, but I am currently looking into some sort of cellular service to be a redundant backup for that system. We certainly don't want this to happen. And we do have, plenty of cellular systems on a lot of our sites right now. We've never had this occur to us at the Elmwood facility, but Chris, you can take over as far as contacting Verizon and what they did for us.
Yeah, there's not much more to add. That's pretty much what happened. Verizon was prompt in their response and their repair, but when the calls occur during the outage, there's you miss that call. So like I said, they were.
What does it detect?
It was a low chlorine, right?
Correct.
But these dialers, they call out for any automatically triggered alarm that we have. So that would apply to whatever auto alarm would have been calling out at the time. So, like I said, they were prompt to just the timing, was there, and it got quickly resolved. I think within 24 hours. We had both systems back.
We can talk. We can just talk about this as chlorine, but the reality is, Al, if someone was to burglarize our building and our alarm system goes off and all the bells and whistles are calling out, it thinks it called the police department because it made it all the way to that NIT. It just could not get through there on Verizon. So ultimately, it was a failure on Verizon's side. We didn't detect, but
That's what I'm concerned about. That's what I'm concerned about is that our systems can be perfect, but the alarm still won't go out on a dial tone
right.
type of circuit.
We like to bat 1,000, but we don't know when we have these situations till they occur, unfortunately. And even if we do go to a cellular system, that doesn't mean that it'll be foolproof then also. So we try to be as redundant as we possibly can to ensure that these things don't happen.
And we have actively been looking at a cellular solution to this. There's a lot of nuts and bolts with it, so we're just considering the certain options, but it's definitely something we're evaluating.
Okay. Thanks,
Jeff
Jeff.
Booth,
Thanks, Chris.
back a couple of years ago when Jeff Booth was the collections department supervisor, he migrated all those alarms for all the 24 pump stations from copper on Verizon over to what is the name of the system again, Jeff?
It is oh God, you put me on the spot.
Mission control.
Mission system.
Mission system, and that's a cellular system. However, having said that, I recall a meeting where I had to tell you about a failure of that system at Terra Pump Station, maybe, I don't know, 2.5 years, 3 years ago, that there's nothing perfect, that all those bells and whistles and triggers have to, function 100% all the time. We get 99.99% out of them, but there's glitches in the system.
I can tell you that we spend about $100,000 on that system, and we recoup that money in just over 3 years. So it's proven technology. It is costly, but it's something we definitely want to go gear towards the future.
Yep. Thank you.
This is a control system that all the different monitors feed into a control system. If something goes wrong, then it dials you up. It dials somebody and says, there's a problem here and here's the information about it.
Yeah, it'll give you very limited information, but it'll give you enough to trigger a response from an operator.
And the connection is by a phone call, not like an IoT Bluetooth kind of transmission.
Cellular.
It's cellular.
That's on the mission system. The mission system.
On the mission
system. System failed is through IO to define system.
Thanks.
Okay, any other questions for Jeff?
That's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Engineers report. Wayne?
Thank you. First is the chemical supply contracts, and you have a resolution in front of you.
Okay. Resolution 2020-156, authorizing advertisement for supplying of chemical contracts. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
A second. Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Wayne? This is a pretty standard thing that I believe we do every year, right, Wayne?
This is annual. We have the specs ready to be advertised. We can have bids prior to your next meeting.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Wayne? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt?
Aye.
Ms. Jamino?
Aye.
Mr. Lutner?
Aye.
Mr. Tenza?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye.
Nothing new on Southside Water Tank. Locust Avenue Pump Station upgrade. That project is substantially complete, and we have change order number 1 in front of you to close out the project.
Resolution 2020-155, approval of change order number 1 in the credit amount of $5,680.29 to Quad Construction Company for field quality adjustments. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
This just reflects quantities that were specified just in case we needed them. And we didn't, there were some items where we didn't need them, and you get a credit for that.
We always appreciate when you give us money back, Wayne.
I second that.
That's that. Anyone have any questions for Wayne? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt, Mr. Schmidt,
You're muted, Mike.
Sorry about that. Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Leitner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye.
Route 70 water main and sewer main, we are still working on the easements for that. The resiliency improvements, we did receive some good bids, and you have a resolution on that one.
All right, resolution 2020-161, award of contract in excess of $44,000 to MBE Mark III in the amount of $343,970 for Elmwood Wastewater Treatment Plan Resiliency Improvements. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Wayne?
MBE Mark III was about $100,000 lower than the next low bidder. We had 4 bidders in total. It was bid over our engineer's estimate, but this is kind of a specialty project with some of these flood barriers that are going to be installed. I think you have some good pricing here. MBE is currently working at the plant, so they had a bit of an advantage. They'll have 2 contracts ongoing in the same location and probably swap crews around. So we recommend that you award to MBE.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Wayne? Yes, Byron.
Yeah, so I was wondering why they came in so low. I noticed the grid chamber and the screw pump, and I did some research on what they actually are. Learned something, and but that explains the question. They're on site, and they probably have a more detailed idea of what has to get done. But the others, they're not. They came in incredibly higher on those 2 line items. Is there any other reasons why?
I have checked with the low bidder, and they are comfortable with their bid.
Wow.
Could be, just their ability to negotiate supply or equipment pricing. I'm not quite sure. I'm satisfied that they are ready, willing, and able to enter into this contract and do this for the bid price.
But when I was looking, I bumped into a Mike Rowe Dirty Jobs video. I got my education on what a grid chamber was.
Oh yeah.
All right, thanks.
Al, you had a question?
Yeah, when would the work start, Wayne?
We'll have a pre-construction meeting towards the end of the year. Once we get all the contracts signed, and I'll get the schedule from the contractor. Then there's equipment or materials that have to be ordered, and I'm not quite sure of the lead time on those.
Okay.
Wayne, I got a quick question. Is this a proactive project, or do we have some issues with flooding?
This is proactive based on some floods you had years ago.
Sure.
And the authority just felt the need to prevent that from reoccurring. These floods are going to possibly come around a little more often, so it's better to be prepared.
Sure. I know a lot of companies are doing that, especially after Sandy, and they got taken by surprise.
Right.
Does anyone else have any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Leitner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye.
Knox Boulevard water main replacement. The contractor is in reconnecting the last of the services to the new water mains, and paving will follow once they're done with that. Heritage Village water main, that basically we're down to punch list items on that. The contractor's coming back on Friday to do some paving that they missed. And then there's a proposal in front of you for phase 2 of the Heritage Village water main replacement.
Okay, motion to approve a proposal from Richard A. Alimo in the amount of $638,000 for design, bid, and construction services for Heritage Village Phase 2 water main replacement. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Wayne, do you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Just to say it's another 10,000 feet of water main improvements. It's the second of 3 phases, and we will be paving the roads curb to curb as part of this contract also.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Wayne before we vote? Okay. Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye.
The Elmwood Storage Building is on hold. Elmwood Tertiary Filter Rehabilitation. The contractor's been doing some minor work and some demolition work out there. The shop drawings have finally been released by the manufacturer after some unsatisfactory terms that they were trying to propose to the contractor had been taken out of the contract between the manufacturer and the contractor, who's MBE Mark III. So now we have shop drawings to review. We've had them for about 3 days. We'll probably be sending them back tomorrow and get that those filters ordered so the project can be completed on time. Woodlake Drive water main replacement. Services are being installed in the next few weeks, weather permitting. Well 7 building. We are currently applying for the DEP permit on that and probably looking to go out to bid in about 3 to 4 months' time once that permit is issued. Greenbrook Drive water main replacement. They'll be testing the new water main next week, and once that passes, they'll be installing services probably through the end of the year. The Elmwood control building, that was just an architectural plan that's been done. That can probably come off the agenda. East Main Street sewer rehabilitation. I received the contracts back from the contractor today, and we'll set up a pre-construction meeting in the next week or so. And you have a proposal in front of you for the Defense Drive water main replacement.
Motion to approve a proposal from Richard A. Alimo Associates in the amount of $20,000 for the survey, design, bidding, and construction administration for the Defense Drive water main replacement. Can I have a motion, please?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Okay, Wayne, do you have anything to add to that?
This is a very small one, 350 feet compared to Heritage Village. It's just a cul-de-sac. Water main needs to be replaced, and we can get right on that one.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Wayne?
Wayne, I've seen they're working on Main Street again. I didn't see nothing on your list.
That's Knox. That's part of the Knox Boulevard project. And they're
corrected.
installing services there.
I
Yeah.
stand corrected. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything on Defense Drive? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Motion to approve W1 for Township of Medford, Medford Evesham Emergency Interconnection, Eastboro Medford Road. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Second. Wayne?
This application is part of a project that's been around for several years now. I think it's still called the Arc Wheeler Project. The housing project is in Medford. Last configuration I was aware of, it was 300 units on Eastboro Medford Road, 46 townhouses, 254 apartments all told. But they need a second source of water for emergency purposes. And they're proposing to interconnect with your system on Eastboro Medford Road, put a metering chamber in Medford, but the valve to control that would be in Evesham. So you would have you would have control of whether that emergency service is turned on or not.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Wayne? No? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. All right, does anyone have any final questions for Wayne? Anything that he discussed in his report? No? Okay, thank you. Public comment. Chris, do we have anybody looking to make a comment?
No.
No, we don't have, okay. Closing public comment. General counsel's report. Mr. Gillespie.
Chairman, I don't have anything for open session, but for the executive session for resolution 2020-164, should the commissioners adopt that, the insertion would be a matter of pending acquisition relating to the easements and pending litigation.
Okay, can I have a resolution 2020-164, executive session for legal matters? Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Lutner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. All right, going into executive session, commissioners, I believe I saw an email come out from Chris that gave you a separate link for executive session. Is that correct, Chris?
That is correct. Everybody,
Can we log off and then log back on?
So at the bottom right, you can leave this meeting and go
Okay.
go into the executive session. When we're done that, we'll enter back in here. I'll give instructions when we get in there.
Am I needed for the easement discussion?
I'm sorry, who was that?
Am I?
Wayne.
Wayne.
No, no, I'm just going to tell them
Okay.
the update on the contacts with property owners.
All right. Good night, all.
All right, good night.
Good night,
Thanks, Wayne.
Wayne.
Appreciate your hard
Good
work.
night, Wayne.
Good to have
Happy holidays there, Wayne.
Yeah,
Merry
Wayne.
Christmas.
Same to everyone.
Yeah, happy holidays,
Yeah.
Wayne.
Happy holidays, yeah.
Be well.
Too.
Can you hear me, Jeff?
Yeah, George, I think you got to get out of this session to get into the executive session. Check your email.
I thought I was in the other one. Okay, thanks.
No, I'm not. I don't believe I'm in that session.
All right, later.
I'll see you in a bit.
Jeff,
Yes.
you're gonna want to leave this. You're gonna want to leave this session. We're still live streaming, so you're just gonna want. Are you planning to come back?
Yeah, just let me know.
Okay, I'll let you know.
All right, bye.
See.
And we're back.
Hey,
Trying to get the hang of this, man. This is not bad.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got good at it, didn't we?
Time, John. This is the first time we weren't waiting for you, I think. You're learning, yay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very little.
Chris, we're live streaming, right?
We are.
Okay.
Okay, motion to come out of executive session.
so move. So move.
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
I don't see Chris.
Please.
Chris here?
There she
There
is.
she is.
There she comes.
Okay.
Roll call, please. Sorry.
You're muted, Chris.
Chris?
She's working on it.
Sorry about that.
No
Yeah.
Okay. I lost my piece of paper. Apologize. Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Miss Jamino,
Aye.
Mr. Luckner,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Okay, board comments. Let's see. Lou, you want to lead us off?
Wow. Yeah, on behalf of myself and my family, I'd like to thank the senior management of the MUA and the commissioners for sending the flowers and the fruit and goodie basket. I really do appreciate it. And as I said, I'd like to thank you all for it. Some of you have reached out to me personally, and again, I thank you for that as well. I don't have any other comments. Thank you,
Okay.
Chairman.
Thank you. Let's see here. Byron?
Yep. Certainly condolences on your mom's passing, Lou. And good job on the mask research and the proactive research that you did on that too, Jeff. I know a little bit about masks, and you certainly did dig into that. Something I didn't know about that too. And for Wayne, he's not here. Great job on Quad coming in under budget, and he's got lots of great projects. And John, great job on the easement so far. That's been going on a long time. Thank you.
Thanks, Byron.
Okay. Nancy, why don't you go next?
Well, I just wanted to thank, I guess, primarily Laura and the finance team on the rate hearing and that structure. We've heard about it as commissioners, we've talked about it before, but really an excellent job so that most residents and ratepayers do not see a change. And that was a great way to go about achieving what you needed to get done with that. So kudos on that one. And also on the dental insurance, to save that money, always trying to look to save the money. So, and hard to believe it is December 2nd. So I hope everyone had a very happy Thanksgiving, and we'll have a happy holiday season, because we'll see you in the new year. And God willing, there'll be a vaccine and we'll all be vaccinated, and we might be back in person and can hug each other or whatever. So thank you all.
Thanks, Nancy. Al, you want to go next?
Yeah. My condolences to Lou on the loss of your mother, especially this time of season. But I do want to congratulate Laura on a great job with the rate hearing.
Yeah.
You did a very good job, and I think overall it's a very good way forward for the community and the ratepayers. I also want to congratulate Jeff Booth and Jeff Rollins. And where's Christopher? Christopher Vandenberg. Thank you, Chris. And Christine Krimmel. Tonight's my thank you time. I think we had a great, productive meeting. There's a lot of great things going on. And I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. And even if we can't be together, find out a way to have fun.
Thanks, Al. Mike?
I don't know if I can top everything that's been said. I just want to offer my condolences to Lou and his family. And Lou, our hearts with you guys. It's a very tough thing to go through, I think, as we all know. Everything that's been said, I totally concur with. I agree. Laura, I tip my hat to you for everything you've done on the assessment and evaluation of our rate structure and the rate alignment. And so I do appreciate where we are as an authority with that very significant part of our financial model. So thank you. And to our employees, it's been obviously a surreal and crazy year. I think Jeff Rollins, you said this earlier about we're considered an essential service, and there's been no interruption to our water quality, our water service. We've had incidents come up, and the EMUA has done a great job responding as usual. So I also tip my hat to our employees working through some really trying circumstances through the pandemic. Hopefully with the vaccine early next year, things will really start to turn for all of us as a community. And I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. Looking forward to seeing you guys in January.
Thanks, Mike. George?
It's always tough to follow up all these. Again, Lou, condolences to you and your family.
Thank you.
Also, one of our supervisors, Mike Mullen, his dad passed away from COVID.
Yeah.
Condolences out to his family. Our staff down here, Laura, very great job. Our finance, our budget committee, second to none. Our staff here is unbelievable. I'm proud to be part of it. Our commissioners, our supervisors, management, and our operating group, we do a hell of a job out there. So ditto to everything our prior commissioners said to me on them. But also, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and happy holidays to everybody. God bless, and see you all next year.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. I just want to echo everything everyone said. These have been trying times, and our management, our employees, our unionized employees, non-unionized, office staff, supervisors, our town management have all stepped up and really done an awesome job in these trying times. And I think, we all owe them a debt of gratitude for the great job they're doing. Lou, my condolences to you on your loss. I know it's a tough one. So I wanted to say I'm sorry to hear the sad news. And, I just want to wish everyone happy holidays and season greetings. All my fellow board members here, the staff, we're ending this year, obviously on a tough note with COVID-19, and it's hopefully only going to get better from here. So our next meeting is January 6th, 2020. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
2021.
2021. Whoa. Yes, Chris, what are you doing to me?
Yeah, you guys don't make it 2020 at all.
Let's not do this again.
No worries. No. And I would be remiss to just not wish season greetings and happy holidays to our professional staff as well. Our professionals who we employ are all doing an awesome job, and you guys have also really stepped up to the plate. And I don't want to leave anyone out.
You too, John. I make a motion.
All right. A
So
second.
move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays.
Stay safe,
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
That's the most important thing.
See you all later.
Yep. Take care.